Hello friends, this is Akash and welcome to Cloudy ML. Today we are going to see how to get a score of 70 F1 score on this not Kaggle, Hacker Earth competition of identifying the dance form. So I used transfer learning and image augmentation to achieve this decent score. So stay tuned till end if you want to understand briefly transfer learning and image augmentation, what they are and how they work and how they help us to improve our score on image classification even though we have very small data set.
Friends, I moved to Kaggle because of few obvious reasons. First of all, the dataset is not available now on the Hacker Earth website, so new people who are watching this video for the first time won't be able to understand what is going on. And secondly, Kaggle provides a lot of GPUs which will enhance our training speed. Previously, when I was trying to train on my system, it was very slow, and I needed to try a lot of combinations of different transfer learning models. So it was quite a bit slow experience for me. So I decided to move to Kaggle. So you need to click here if you want to edit and experiment with the Kaggle notebook. After clicking here, you will get something like this. So here you need to make sure that accelerator is GPU and internet is on, and I will dive deeper into the code now. So let me zoom it a little. Yeah, so this is just importing sklearn libraries. I will run it. Then this part is for segregating the train images into so whenever you are getting the train images, it will be like this. It won't be segregated in their respective dance forms, and they will also give one Excel from HackerEarth. So labels are here. So we need to map it. So this code is doing nothing. I have explained it in detail in previous video. You can watch that if you want to understand deeper how it is working. So this code is doing that functionality. Then we are importing our deep learning libraries. So we imported image generator VGG16. So before starting, I want to tell you what is transfer learning, because VGG16 is what we are using for transfer learning in this case.
As you can see in this website, I will give this link if you want to understand deeply what VGG16 will do. So here you can see that it has been trained on over 15 million images, high resolution images, and 22,000 categories. So we don't have so many images, and nor do we have so much computing power, CPU, GPUs to achieve this, and they would have trained it on for months, weeks, and months to get the results. So what VG16 is having nice convolutional layers. I will briefly tell what convolutional was doing. Yeah, so I told you convolutions are nothing, just a set of image filters which will highlight some specific properties in the image. So the original image is used to look something like this, and you by applying this filter, you can see this matrix filter. This is some part of image augmentation. Some features got highlighted, and these highlighted features are only learned by the at the end. One layer will tell identify the nose, one will identify ear, eyes, lips. So this way, the convolution will give the output as a different feature extracted. Feature extraction we call it. So, af- so this VGG has learned many features, like hundreds and thousands of features, which is not possible for us to learn in such a small data set, which you already know it's very much small, around 300 images. So we want to use this capability of this highly trained model. That's why it's called transfer learning. We are transferring that capability here. I'll show you in brief. Yeah, so you see that VGG has been locked in this diagram. I'm showing lock has been put here, and the different features would coming up here, like eyes, nose, ears, different things, wheel, toothbrush, pencil, whatever. I don't know what images they trained on. So, but all those may not be applicable for us. So we will put a dense neural network layer which will put 0 for all other features and 1 for eyes, or 0.9 for ears, 0.78 for hands. So all this, and based on that it will give the proper output. So we are only going to train this part. This part won't be trained. This will have all the weights which was uh, it was having originally. So the configuration will be the same. So I will run this part. I'll also run this part. Yeah. So you can see I have told the VGG model will be downloaded from net after running this code, and this part is my dense layer deep neural network, and this is the output having 8 categories. We have 8 category of images, dropouts for regularization so that we don't end up overfitting. One more thing which I have used here is reduce LR on plateau. This will do one purpose, reducing the learning rate when metric has stopped improving. So whenever our learning rate is metric is not improving, it will reduce the learning rate so that it improves. So I run this part. Next comes the part of image augmentation. Image augmentation is we will be like rotating the image, zooming the image, shifting the image, horizontally flipping the image. So this, by doing these things, we have, suppose we have 100 of images, we end up creating thousands of images. Keep in mind those 1,000 images are generated on the fly, so they are not generated on the disk. So whatever images you have on the disk will be there. It won't be deleted or changed, and no other extra images will be added on your hard disk. Only thing, while running this code, the this augmentation will be applied to your images. So how it will help us? For example, this cat is having ears upright straight, but the image was in the horizontal format. But but in my test data, this kind of image is there. So my convolution neural network won't be able to understand how to figure this out. So, but if my trained data makes an image which is slightly rotated, so it will match with this image, and in the trained data it will perform very nicely. So this is the benefit of image augmentation. We can improve our accuracy very much using image augmentation. So I will run this part. So yeah, so my train generator flow from directory. So all the images which are categorized here by training images has been labeled and categorized will be 8 classes from the directory, and this folder names will become the labels. Now I will start my training for 40 epochs. So in this callbacks, what you are seeing here, callbacks is nothing. So it will check whenever the epoch is ending, first epoch, it will call this callback function, and callback function is having my this part, that reduce on plateau. You can see reduce on plateau is in the callbacks. So after the training is completed, I will copy my test images into some other folder, because the original input directory of Kaggle is you cannot make any folders. It will throw and read only error. And after that, this code will classify my test images. So the test images based on this test CSV file. So this test CSV file is given by the Hacker Earth. Here only the names are there, no labels. We will use this model, train model, and label our images. So once it is done, we will do submission.toCSV. It will be saved. After its notebook has run, so if you have made any changes, then you need to go here and click on save version and select this one, save and run all, and select the save. So it will run your notebook separately. I'm not going to do that. I have already done it. So it will, some new images will come for you. Sorry, new notebook will come for you. So you need to go to the output section here. So you already saw the input, what was present, the dance images. So you can see these images, right? So, and this test and train CSV I was showing in my local system. So all these are present here. So I will go to this output folder and click on this submission.csv, download it, and go to the Hacker Earth website. I will give you this link also in case you are new or choose the file. and click on submission, submit and evaluate. So you will get this score of 70 F1 score. Friends, if you go and check the leaderboard, you will get many submissions which are having a score of 100%. But I will tell you that don't get distracted from that score, because that score is not possible in the images like this, where we have so much versatility. See, so images are, first of all, they're very small, and to learn the features is from them is quite a difficult task. And some images are having single people, some are having many people, single people, many people. So to build a model on this kind of images is very difficult with 100% accuracy. Yeah, you can make a model of with 100% accuracy on the trained data, but it won't be giving 100% result in your test data. So don't be demotivated by seeing those scores. You can use my notebook as a starting point and try to improve it further. But I will tell you, I have seen many references in GitHub and Kaggle also, and this is what I found what the best score. You will find many GitHub links telling 100% accuracy, 90% accuracy, and Kaggle also in the title of the notebook. But when you actually run it and submit their output in the HackerEarth website, the result will be around 40, 50, maximum 60. So if this is after using transfer learning and image augmentation, I got a score of around 70. Somewhere I saw a score of around 78. It was using a library from fast.ai and it was running on PyTorch. I can't explore that because I am not into PyTorch. If somebody of you is aware about PyTorch, you can very well go and explore there. So if you found this whole thing helpful and good learning experience, please hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel, because I have made a goal. If I'm hitting the 100k subscriber base, I'll be making 2 videos per week. Currently I'm making 1 video per week. So if you people help me, so every one of you who is watching this video, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget that. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.